This may not be well received, but it doesn't mean just because you don't agree with it that the information is incorrect. I've been around for a while. I've experienced life pretty full. Done a lot of things in this tenure at the age of 60 now. And I don't make too many mistakes as it relates to how I see life. This is not a matter of my opinion. It is what it is. And it's about black women raising young black children. I don't know how long I'm going to be here. This is one of those moments when I'm not actually working, the store's not open, and I'm sitting in my office and I'm just taking a moment to express a concern, because I have daughters and I have granddaughters as well. When I look at the state of affairs as it relates to black women raising their daughters, I don't like it. They are portraying the wrong image. And what I see is nothing more than the daughters mimicking the mothers. The way they talk, their social behavior, and the way they dress. It's disturbing. There was a time when I was much younger that a woman cared a little bit more about herself, her body, than they do today. It's like anything goes nowadays. And as the old expression goes, sex sells. Female sexuality sells. So ladies, embrace these words that I'm about to express right now. And if you don't want to embrace them as being something that's wholesome and beneficial to you, then brace yourself for the truth. Because that's what it is. I see young teenage black girls. Now, before I get going, this is not exclusive to black women. Even though I'm pointing out mainly black women because I am, and I belong to the black community, so to speak. And this is what I see and have seen all or most of my life. My people, if you will. But I see some Asians, women that is. I see a lot of white women that dress, for example, kind of risky. The clothing is similar, different styles oftentimes, but black women are off the hook, off the chain, as they say, with how they dress. I'm not going to get on the eyelashes. I'm not going to get on the lipstick. That's inclusive, but I'm talking about the clothing and the self-respect that they don't have for themselves. No pride. Nothing to be proud of when your breasts are almost completely exposed. Not leaving very much to the imagination if you're looking for or would like a man to be interested in you. And the pants, the leggings, the tights are so tight. All up there, vagina crack. All up there, excuse my expression, ass crack. It's too much. And we are inundated with this every single day, virtually everywhere you go. Where's the self-love at? Mothers of these daughters. Now, if you're allowing your daughter to dress like this, like whores, that's what it is. Let's be honest. It's because you dress like a whore. Trying to sell something to get something in return. Now, you may not be standing on the street corner soliciting some John to pick you up and give you a few bucks for a quick run in the hay. And you may not be an escort calling some guy on the phone trying to hook up so you can make some money as well. May not be in Vegas on the strip. May not advertise in some magazine or even on your phone on some secret website. But your behavior is indicative of someone that is a whore. There was a time when women wore modest clothing. I'm not saying that you have to wear a potato sack. I'm not saying that your pants have to be, or your skirt has to be past your knee. But when you wear a dress or a skirt that's really tight and you have a nice build or body and it's so tight you can hardly get it on or get it off, and you wear jeans so tight that you have to tug to get them on and you have to peel them off of you, something's wrong. First of all, that's not healthy. And when your pants are that tight, there has to be an odor at some point, because you got to be hot in more than one way. I'm sorry, it's just the truth anyhow. It's not my intent to make you upset, but if you get upset at me telling the truth, then it is my intent to make you upset. Someone might say, well, brother teacher, what right do you have to tell a woman what she should and should not wear? Well, there are some certain things in life that just simply go without saying. It's funny to me, and I mean odd, that any time an individual brings up a moral or ethical issue that disturbs someone else, that person wants to attack them. In this instance, maybe attack me. Not because I'm saying anything that's incorrect or wrong, but because it exposes something about you. And I'm not judging you. I don't have a heaven or a hell to put you in. But you're upset with me because you don't want people to talk about your indiscretions, about your lack of discipline, about your looseness, if you will. And especially someone that looks like you. Someone really has to tell you, because so many black women have fallen. So many black women have fallen prey even to some man who take advantage of them dressing the way that they dress, talking the way that they talk, behaving the way that they behave, hanging out in the clubs and the strip joints and things of this sort. I'll never be able to change this. No one will ever be able to change this. I just hope and I pray that the words that I'm conveying right now fall upon the ears of somebody out there. And if I can save one, if I can help one, then I will have done a good service, a good deed. Women, it's a cruel and it is a harsh world out here. Why are you making it harder? Ladies, and I'm talking to you mothers, you are not your daughter's friends. You are a mother. If they're under the age of 21 or 18, they are a child. They are juveniles. You are supposed to be an example, not a bad example. You're supposed to be a good example, and oftentimes you don't even know what good is. You think it's just simply okay. And a lot of times your answer is going to be when someone talks like I'm talking right now. I'm grown. I'm MFing grown. Mind your own business. That's the response oftentimes. That's the diversion. That's you trying to dismiss the issue because you don't want someone to talk about the real issue. Now, I could be talking about alcoholism and drugs and stuff like that right now, but I'm talking about this issue as it relates to you treating your daughter like she's your friend. And now I've noticed, more so than I've ever noticed before, teenage girls. There's some boys too. There's some guys. But teenage girls smoking blunts, cigars, cigarettes, and even drinking, and even smoking weed. And it's okay with mom. You know why it's okay with mom? Because mom, number one, she's doing it. But let something happen to her, mom wants to run to her rescue. Let her get in trouble with the law, mom runs to her rescue. You wouldn't even have to do that if you had your house in order first. So, your daughters are dressing like Thots, as they say. Excuse my expression. That hoe over there. I don't know whoever coined that expression. But that's how they're dressing. They're dressing like that because mom dresses like that. So they're both, excuse my expression, that hoe over there. So, mothers, how is it that you don't have the courage? Those of you who say that you have principles and standards, how is it that you don't have the courage to tell your child that's unacceptable? I know a lot of you are single parents and don't have a father in the house to guide the house, and that you're alone. But I know plenty of women who have governed their house or their houses very well without a man there. So what's your excuse? Are you afraid of your daughter? Has your daughter, or do you allow your daughters to challenge you and you just go to a corner and take it? All because you never got hold of the reins of that child when they were younger. You let it get out of hand, and before you realize it, the peer pressure that she experiences outside of your home and at school and in society, it's overwhelming to you because you let it get out of hand. So what you saying, brother teacher? You get what you put in, ladies. If you put good in your children, you will get good in return. And if you put something bad in your children, guess what you're going to get in return? The same thing. Bad. Why would you expect something different? Your children, and in this instance, your daughters, are a reflection of you. Nothing else. Let me show you this. Just imagine. Your daughters came out of your vagina, out of your womb. They were this little. They grew. Then they stood, began to take their first steps. They were toddlers. And they began to grow. And then they became preteens and teenagers. At what point did you lose control? You never took control. You never let them know that I'm your mother and you are my child, and you will do what I tell you to do and what I say And that's it. And that's all. When your child curses you out, when your child tells you what they will and won't do, when your child is smoking, whether you smoke or not, and you know they're smoking, you haven't done your job. When your child is taking drugs, coming in at all times of the night, early in the morning, when your child is on their phone, their $300, $400, $500 cell phone, iPhone, or what have you, talking to some boys or on some website that she shouldn't be on, you haven't done your job. When your child is out of control, it is because you have never been in control. You're not going to like this video. If you watched it up to this point, I know you probably didn't like this video. But it's good. It's okay. And I don't care. But I love the fact that I conveyed this message to someone. Because let me tell you, either you love your children or you don't. There's no gray area. There's two extremes. There's the straight and the narrow way, and then there's that wide road that leads to destruction. Make your choice before it's too late. And I said this to someone earlier this week, and I'm serious when I say this to you. You cannot go back and reclaim the past. You can't change what's already been done. But you can do better today and going forward. And when your children are younger, when they're small, you hold them in your arms. And when they get older, they're going to be in your heart. So you make sure that you don't have to deal with the issue of regret and guilt because you didn't do your job, mothers. Because raising a child is the greatest job that any man or woman will ever have in this world. So make sure you do the right thing for them. And they'll grow up to make you proud of them and proud of you for doing what you should have done for them. This is Brother Teacher. Have a blessed day or evening, wherever you may be.